Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Shelly from Crafty Cottage Dreams. How are you doing today? Welcome, welcome. Alrighty, today I'm going to do a video on my, I'm saying we are not going to say through the entire video. I'm really going to try. I can't guarantee anything, but I'm going to give it a try. Love is in the air. Shabby vintage, letterhead, PaperBag receipt. That is a long sentence. Let's start over. Love is in the air. Shabby vintage letterhead receipt PaperBag journals. There we go. Woo! Anyway, let's get started. I really don't want this video to be super duper long, so we're gonna just really get started. So I have two of them, so we're gonna do this one real quick. So I am gonna set this one aside. And these journals, let's measure it real quick for you. 7.5 by 5 inches long. They are both the same. And the baby journal is a little over 4.5 by almost 4 inches. So here we have it. I used TsunamiRose digitals on the front cover. But the main attraction is Lorna Taylor's digital with her vintage letterhead receipt digitals. And I've used, saying them again, and I've also used original ledgers and stuff like that. You'll see throughout the journal. But anyway, let's get started. So sorry, I didn't mean to hit you in the noggers. I am including this with the journal just because, and guys, these aren't really, these are just with Valentine's Day coming and stuff like that. They're not really a Valentine journal. It's just more, it's really the colors are really neutral, and I don't know, and they include some hearts. But I wanted to include this. So it's made out of wood, and I did paint it. And I added this little hook. And all I did was just collage it, guys. It has an applique, some flowers, pearls, crinkled seam binding, and I said, again, this beautiful image of this Victorian woman, and I've added some, you know, some bling bling on a ball pen, and yeah, I made it for you for this journal. It's just to go with the journal, just something extra and special. So yes, here is the front cover. I used a paper bag from Ooh La La Vintage Treasures from one of her kits. And also I've used all of her vintage and some aren't vintage laces and trims from a variety of her kits. So yeah, so here it is. I love it. It's so pretty. It's so soft. And yes, romantic. Love is in the air. Yes, it's so pretty. So what I did was gesso the bag. I did sew all around it. And I added this beautiful TsunamiRose digitals on here of roses and hearts. And I used my script stamp and just script stamp all over it. Just a bunch of collaging. And this is old, very old paper from an antique book that I purchased from Sacred Mementos. And here it is. So I've included, I believe the date on this is Isn't it a beautiful book? I just love, love, love the color of the pages. And it's rag paper, 1824. So I've used some pages out of this beautiful book, as you can see here, for the collaging. And again, I just use my script stamp. I used gesso just to tone down the images, crinkled up the pages, and I think it came out beautiful. I did the regular binding, and I used masking tape. I'm kind of obsessed with that. And this is just tied with some beautiful tulle. And then here I added just a little, I'm not sure what this fabric is, but it's beautiful. Just a little fabric up there. As you can see, those beautiful collaged pages from that 1853 book. Some script writing on there from my script stamp. And I used gesso. And then here I added a little bow, which is attached. And I painted this key. And you have, this was already a beautiful cluster from Ooh La La Vintage Treasures, which I just added this key. So you have a little blingy bling with some pearls and sequins. You have an applique and a pink doily. So pretty. You can take that off and use that throughout the journal if you choose to do so, or, you know, leave it as is. I just think it's so pretty. Finally using up my stash. And in this pocket, I have included just scraps of paper that I had left over you can use for collage. We have this vintage music paper. And then we have a very old French dictionary page. And those are tucked right on the inside in here. You can use for collaging. Or you can make whatever, an ephemera tag out of them. Make a tag. Do some collaging. All right, let's get through this. Let's move this beautiful heart over. You know what I want to stick in there too? Well, we'll wait. There's some just something a little extra tag that I wanted to do. In here, as you can see, I did some more collaging. You can see the sewing I did along through here from that beautiful 1853 book. So I used some sample stamps here, 1842. And again, I used gesso and just to tone down those images and use my script pad and did some script stamping over there. And here I added some vintage lace and I just entwined some sari silk through there. Here we have an avocado dyed doily. We have a vintage music page, and here I sewed on some vintage lace. And here is Lorna's beautiful vintage letterhead receipts. We have that one and this one here, and I added some tulle on the top of that. We have an antique ledger page. And I forget the date on these, but they were purchased from Sacred Mementos. And I added one of those in there. Vintage letterhead receipt. Here we have some coffee stained lace paper. And I added this envelope and I sewed around it, just did a little collage. And you can tuck something secret inside there if you like. And that just clips right there with that mini rose gold paper clip and some lace right up there. And then I added this beautiful tag I just love it. It's so beautiful. And then here is that vintage letterhead again, and I added some tulle right on the top there. And here I added, here is some more of that beautiful lace coffee stain paper. I added a pink doily down here, a little bit of sari silk there. And then I forget what these cards are. I forget the name of these cards. If you guys know, let me know. But they are vintage, and I just wanted to share some with you. I love them. So I have one tucked inside there. Love this paper. Vintage letterhead receipt flip out. Here's another vintage letterhead receipt flip. That ledger paper. Plenty of room to journal in, guys, and add your own. And here I sewed on some vintage lace. And there's something stuck there. There we go. Some vintage lace here. Tied some of that tulle there. There's a lot of string from my sewing. I like to leave the string laying on the edge because I like that shabby look. We have some beautiful coffee stained paper. It's like a mocha, very grunge. And then we have this ball pin, and this was from one of Doreen's kits. You have that beautiful applique, that pin. Just so pretty. And this heart, this quilted heart. So I used that in there. I just love it. Here is that antique ledger. And then we have some pink dyed paper, and I sewed on this lace pocket and added some sari silk on the bottom there. And then I've included this, I believe it's antique, it's very old, Friendship's Greetings. It's such a beautiful card. And it has some writing in the back. I'm not going to read it. Whoever the participant is who purchases this journal can read it, but it's dated 6/23/1910. And here's the center. And here is the other pockets, again with that beautiful lace. Some beautiful sari silk. I added a bow. And then we have this. Yes, it is a Valentine card, but it's very old and I love it. And it's beautiful. Isn't it beautiful? And I'm sharing it with you. And this is dated 1907. Love it. It's beautiful. And that tucks right in there. That antique ledger. Here's that beautiful, it's like a mocha color stained paper. It's beautiful. I added a little cluster of sari silk up there. And then we have this beautiful tag. It's so pretty. I love it. There's some seam binding, crinkled seam binding. So pretty. Good grief. The antique ledger. Again, we have this beautiful vintage letterhead. Little flip, a couple little flips here. There's that beautiful coffee stained lace paper. I added a little doily in the corner there with some Sorry Silk. It's a pink doily, and I had to add a little bling. And then here's another one of those. Are these cigarette? Help me out, guys. But I added one of these. They are vintage. I think they're cool, so I shared some. Another vintage letterhead with some of that polka dotted tulle up in the top. It's so pretty. And then I created this out of grid paper. Coffee stained it, made a little paper clip collage. And that just tucks right up on the top there. Another vintage letterhead receipts with some beautiful tulle. The ledger, antique ledger. Another vintage letterhead receipt with that beautiful tulle up there. Love it. Love the holes and adding, like, another vintage letterhead receipt. Vintage music paper, avocado dyed doily, and here is the back. Sampool stamps here, 1904 paper letters with that beautiful antique 1953 book there. I love these images. I just used gesso over them and did some stamping with my script stamp. I added this vintage lace and torn some sorry silk through there and added that to the top. And that is the beautiful journal. Squishy. I love it. I love this journal. It's so cute. So we'll tie that up after. Oh, you know what I wanted to add? I was going to add this. Isn't this so cute? I wanted to add this. That is tea-dyed. That is Esme's on the top. I want to add this card too. And we are going to add it along with those old papers. Right in there like so. Yay. Okay. So that is that journal with the little wooden heart that I made. And then we have the baby journal. Isn't this so cute? It's also made out of a paper bag. This paper bag here. I did sewing all around. And again, that beautiful image from TsunamiRose. I just crinkled it up, made it look old. I added a fabric cluster here. Sewed that on. And then here, this was from Ooh La La Vintage Treasures. It's a little quilted heart. It's attached with a pin there. And a little baby piece of crocheted lace. And this is tied with, not sure what material this is. I never know what Doreen uses in her kits, but I just love her laces that she's includes with her kits. Isn't that so cute? I just grunged it up again. I used that scrap from that I had scraps left over, so I just did a little collage and used that. It's so pretty. And then in the inside of the pocket, I also included from that book, very old. It's this beautiful image. I love the patina on these pages, so I've included that. That tucks right inside here. So beautiful and delicate. Hope you guys enjoy that. And inside here, I just added this pocket, lace pocket with this beautiful that hangs down. I love it. And then here I've added a very old, again, it's one of those, I don't know what these are called. Help me out, guys. So anyway, that's tucked right inside there at avocado dyed doily. This is from an old, very old French book. It's made out of, it's rag paper. So pretty. I've used lots of original stuff in these journals. parchment paper. And then I have some embossed script paper here that I've added. A little mini pin, rose gold pin. I've attached some lace on the side, and then I added this girl on there. She's so cute. Look at that little card. So cute. Some more parchment paper. This is from a very old French book. I added some of that fabric there. Very old. Some blank paper, some of that pink paper. And I just sewed this lace on that page. From that French paper. So pretty, I love it. Am I in focus? Jesus. Here's the center. I used some masking tape because I'm kind of obsessed with it. And then I love this embossed paper that I've added. And I added this cute little, isn't she so cute? It's the tiniest parchment paper, that rag paper from that French book, avocado dyed paper, and that is the end of your mini journal. So that is journal number 1. I'm just going to set this aside. I will put it all together later. So let's just set this one aside. And I'll grab the other one. It's almost the same, pretty much the same, just kind of decorated a little different. Let me just sip on my coffee. And I hope the shadowing is not too bad, guys. I'm going to shut my blinds. It's getting dark. I can't wait till it doesn't get dark until 9 p.m. Okay, in here, I've added that wooden heart for this one too. I painted it white. Just added some vintage laces and these beautiful florals with some flat back pearls. Some seam binding. This image of this beautiful woman. I don't know. I hope you guys enjoy that. It's included with the journal. And again, I'm not gonna like go through everything. I pretty much, it's a paper bag from one of Doreen's kits, and I gessoed it, and I just did a lot of collaging like I did in the other one. Just yeah, the same pretty much, just a little different. The other one was more in whites, pinks, and creams, and this is in very much so cream, a touch of pink, and I don't believe there's any white in this one. So, and I've added this, I did the same binding as I did in the other one. This beautiful closure here, and that we just undo that, and it's so pretty. I love it. Everything's all from Doreen's kit, from all of her laces and trims. I'm going to set that aside. In here, I added this little bow. It was already done, so I just kept it as is. It is attached to the page, so, because I just love it. But I did add this little cluster here from Doreen's kit. I added this key. I painted white, and it has a little charm there we have a quilted heart, beautiful lace, some tatting, some beautiful vintage trim here. I love this because it's in hearts. It's so pretty. So it's just a little cluster you can keep on the journal like this as so, if you choose to do so, or it's just attached with a ball pin up here, or you can unattach it and use throughout the journal. Personally, I like it attached to the journal because I love it. So again, I just did some collaging with that script stamp, that old 1953 paper. Just did a bunch of collaging. So pretty. And then I added this beautiful trim here. It's from Doreen's kit. I love it. Masking tape because I'm obsessed with it. Same as in the back, collaging. I did so all around the journal. So let's quickly go through this journal. And on the inside, I did add the same as I did with the other journal, a sheet of vintage paper, and this is old French dictionary page. Okay guys, I am back. I had to step away momentarily, but let's get through this journal. Again, here I collage, use that old paper from the 1853 book. Added that beautiful trim on the top, sample stamp 1842. We have an avocado dyed paper doily, a vintage music paper with this beautiful fabric trim up there. Vintage letterhead receipts from Lorna. This old antique ledger. Vintage letterhead receipt with some sari silk on the top there. French dictionary page. We have this coffee stained paper with this beautiful trim here. I just entwined some of this beautiful lace throughout. And that is attached to this beautiful paper. Here's an antique ledger, vintage music paper. We have some pink stained paper with this beautiful tag. It's with the rose gold mini clip up here, and I attached that beautiful lace on the top there, that fabric. I did a eyelet ruffle here and sewed that in the corner there, that page. And here we have this beautiful image. It's definitely antique. I'm not sure the date on this one, but it came with all the others that I included in the other journal as well. I love it. It's beautiful. Here's this vintage letterhead, another vintage letterhead, antique French paper, coffee stained lace paper, vintage letterhead. I love this polka dot mocha, like coffee stained paper. I sewed this ruffle here, this eyelet on there. I added this doily little cluster that we have here, made of pockets. Here we have from Doreen's kit, a little cluster of fabric with that heart attached with a pin. And here is that again. I'm not sure what these are called. I forget. It's not coming to me right now. Let me know, you guys. Masking tape. I love that paper. And here is that antique ledger. It is dated 1869, I believe, or 1819. Very old. I love it. It's beautiful. Here's the center. And then I created this little tag, did some sewing. So cute. I love that image. It's just different from what I normally do. That mini gold paper clip with that fabric there. And then here I added that in there. I love it. Here is that Vintage paper receipt. It's a little flip there with some sari silk up there. Here is that coffee stained lace paper. Again with a mini gold paper clip with that fabric attached. And then I added this crochet doily cluster there, that French dictionary page. I added a belly band, eyelet belly band right here onto that vintage letterhead. It is a flip out, and I've added this. I love, love, love this. Look at that. I'm sharing it with you guys. I've hoarded it forever. Vintage letterhead flip out, and then here's that pink dyed paper, mini paper, rose gold clip with that fabric, and here's another one of those greeting cards. I think it's a beautiful image. This one is dated 1908. I love it. I love that handwriting. It's just, this is beautiful. I'm sharing these with you guys. I'm finally not hoarding. And then we have this beautiful card or tag. I love it. Here is vintage music paper, antique ledger, coffee stained lace paper. Here is that French dictionary page, vintage letterhead receipts with some beautiful sari silk. Here's that antique ledger, vintage letterhead receipt flip out with some sari silk attached to the top. Another vintage letterhead receipt, antique, well, it's vintage music paper, and here is that avocado dyed doily, and then here is the back, and I added that little cluster, paper letters, again from the 1853. I just love it from that book. And there you have it. It's so beautiful. I love, love, love. And here is the baby mini journal. Let's try to get through this. I love this. It's so cute. I just added that sari silk there. I did sewing all around this baby journal, and then I added these ruffled trim there, and I added a little cluster. It has a little charm with a heart applique, some vintage lace, some of this netting on a ball pin. Here is that trim there, and then let's get into the journal. You can certainly leave that attached. I love it attached. I think it's beautiful. Here's that image. Just crinkled up the pages from that. Here's that from that book page, 1853 book page. And inside here, I added another one of those images from that. It is rag paper. It's so beautiful. I love the patina on this, so I've included it in there. I love it. Here is the inside of this beauty. Here I made a pocket out of this doily, added some sari silk, a little bow there. I've added a couple of card, ephemera there. Avocado dyed doily. This is from an old French rag paper dictionary book. Crinkled, you know what that is. I did some embossing on some coffee stained paper of script. Little rose gold mini clip with some sari silk, and I added this cute little image. So cute. Here's that French, oh, here we have a date. Oh my gosh. 1492 to 1556. This is very old, guys. so beautiful, that paper. Plain paper, pink dyed paper with some eyelet in that beautiful trim. We sewed on there. We have a French book page. Here's the center. Hope you guys can see. I hope I'm in focus. That French book page. That embossed coffee stain paper with a little image. Sorry Silk mini rose gold paper clip. So cute. Parchment paper. Here's the back of that very old French book page. And the avocado dye doily. And that is the mini journal, guys. And that is my Love is in the Air paper bag Shabby vintage letterhead. You know. Anyways, guys, that is it. I am going to get these quickly listed in my Etsy shop, and then I'm on to the next video. My TsunamiRose journals. All right, until next video, love you guys much, and we'll see you soon. Bye.